Hey friends, it's Judy Klock, your Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. Huh, look at this hair. And tonight I am coming to you with the second of my Christmas in July demos. And tonight we are featuring the Frosted Forest bundle. Now this bundle doesn't scream Christmas, but when you use the evergreen tree images and you pair it with another set that has Christmas sentiments and the colors you pick, I think it will work for a Christmas set. So the bundle comes with the Frosted Florist photopolymer stamp set, the dies, and there are 10 dies. There are 10 dies, and we'll take a look at those in a minute. And you also get 2 sets of masks. You get 3 masks for the evergreen, and you get 3 masks for the deciduous tree. Okay, so now you'll notice the masks do have a number. I keep forgetting to change my screen, and I apologize for that. But I don't know if you can see it, but the masks do have a number on them. But sometimes that number is hard to see. So just take a Sharpie and write on the front, kind of next to it, the order. So this would be mask number 1, number 2, and number 3. And that's the order in which you would use the masks. Same for the evergreen trees, only they did, instead of doing 1, 2, 3, because that would be confusing, they did ABC. So again, I did the same thing. There's my little A, and I just kind of wrote ABC so I can tell at a glance which mask I have to use next. Let me put this up just a little bit higher. There we go. All right, so this was the set. Again, I said there were photopolymer stamps and the matching dies, and we'll take a look at those dies right now and what they cut. So you'll see here, the dies will cut out the stamped image of the deciduous tree, the evergreen trees, and the birds. And it will also cut out some additional pieces. It will cut out this like 3-tree silhouette, the trunk and the branches, as well as like the leaf overlay, and then these overlay pieces for the evergreen trees. You'll notice I tried to use the embossing paste on this, but unfortunately it turned green. It didn't stay white. So, and the ink was completely dry. So I don't know. I guess maybe the paste is just too sheer, because you'll like where it wasn't on the green, it stayed white, but that green kind of bleeds through that embossing paste. I was kind of going for a snowy effect. I mean, it still looks kind of cute, but it wasn't the effect I was going for. So here's another pro tip for tonight. So I have this little, I don't know, this eye vine berry for when I do weeding with my Cricut. But if you stick it on your glass mat or even to your work surface, it'll be a great place to stick your dimensional covers. So get these on Amazon, I don't know, a couple of bucks. But anyway, it's a kind of a great little thing. Then you just can take the whole thing over and just dump it in your trash, and hopefully that will end all those little Stampin' dimensional covers everywhere. All right, so let's take a look at our cards. Tonight we're going to do 2. We always do 2. So the first one is more of a simple stamping. We're just going to use stamps, inks, and paper. But you can see how pairing it with, I use the Iconic Celebrations Designer Series paper, and I use that red and green plaid and cherry cobbler for the base, and just kind of brings out those evergreens, and it does make it more Christmassy. So let me know what you think. Then we're going to step it up a bit. We're going to do a fun fold. We're going to do a faux sidestep card. And this is all just in how you fold it and the pieces that you use. But you can see here, we've used the tree silhouette, and I've kind of colored the trees because I don't want them to be stark white. You can, excuse me, you can leave them stark white. We've done the masking for the large evergreen tree, and then we've done some dry embossing here. So those are the 2 cards that we will work on this evening. So if you're here, let me know that you're here watching. And if you are watching on replay, let me know. I love to know who the replay warriors are. And let's go ahead and get started. So if you haven't heard Stampalooza registration. It's a 2-day crafting retreat coming up in September here in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley, September 20th and 21st. It is a great time to be in the Shenandoah Valley. Fall is a beautiful time of year. And we are going to have a lovely retreat with lots of classes. We're going to do a watercoloring technique. We're going to use show you some additional uses for your embossing folders. And we've got one more class that we're working out, but we hope that you'll sign up and come. It's going to be a great time. Saturday includes breakfast and lunch, and as well as you get a goodie bag with over $80 worth of gifts in there. There are prize patrols. There are surprise giveaways. There's bingo. So, I mean, you're going to get spoiled the entire weekend. Let's just say that. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is I am going to stamp my small tree in full strength on a piece of basic white. This is 3 inches by 4 inches. And then I'm just going to stamp it again right in that with that second generation ink. Okay, so we got that lighter one there. And then I'm going to come over here with the larger tree. Okay. And I am just going to stamp that right here. A little bit off. It's going to be a little bit off the paper. So we're not going to get quite that whole image on there. Okay, and those are our 3 trees. We're just going to stamp the 3 trees. And then on our little scrap here of basic white, this is about 1 by 2-ish. We're just going to stamp Happy Holidays. Now, this greeting is from the Season of Green and Gold, which I will be showcasing next week. This is one of there's 2 stamp sets in that product suite. This is one of them. It is called Greetings of the Season. So we paired that tonight with our Frosted Forest, simply because the Frosted Forest didn't have a Christmas sentiment that I wanted to use. You know what? I am going to stamp one more small tree on there because it looks a little bare over here, but I'm going to kind of stamp it off a little bit, and I'm going to come in and again make it a little bit shorter and right there. All right, and those are our trees. You can go ahead and add as many trees as you want, as few trees as you want. That is up to you. But let's go ahead and put our card together. So I've got a piece of our basic white. It is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to go on our inside. I always like to put a piece of basic white on the inside of my card. I really just think that it gives it a finished look. And don't forget that right now is bonus days. So if you place an order, for every $50 you spend, you will earn a $5 coupon to spend in August. So if there's something that you need, great time to stock up on envelopes, basic white cardstock, adhesives. So even if you don't need stamp sets, you always need some of your basic supplies. Great month to stock up, get what you need, get ready for the holiday season, and earn those $5 coupons. And there is no limit to the number of coupons you can earn. All right, so this piece of Designer Series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. All right, and then we're just going to go ahead and add our centerpiece. And again, this was 3 by 4. Come on, let's come out. Okay, I'm just going to put that there. Okay, we're going to kind of label this, or layer this rather, on top of our cherry cobbler. Okay, and then I'm going to take just a little bit of our baker's twine. This is an older thing, but we still have it. It's in the Essentials Baker's Twine pack. And we are just going to kind of loop this together. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive. Let's put it on this side. Let's add a little bit of adhesive here. Okay, and we're going to kind of stick this down over it. Okay, so we kind of got it going like that. And now we're going to come in here. I want to make that loop a little bit bigger. There we go. We're going to come in here with some dimensionals. Okay, like maybe 4 dimensionals. All right, and then we're going to put that on our card. Put that right there. Let's go ahead and trim our ends just a bit. They're a bit long. Okay, and then let's add a little sparkle, because what is a card without sparkle? We always need a little bit of bling. Okay, come on. There we go. Let's go. 1 and 2. And let's see, where are we going to put this last one? Oh, I put it right over here. Okay, so that is our first card. Real simple, but again, we took that Frosted Forest. We just used the evergreen image, and we used green and gold. I'm sorry, green and red. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Green and red, and we kind of made it more of a holiday themed card than just, of anything other than a holiday. So just because Frosted Forest may not scream Christmas doesn't mean that you can't adapt it and make it into a Christmas set. Okay. Great way to get more for your money when you can adapt your sets for different events. All right. So our next card is going to be a little bit more involved. So we have here a piece of our Mossy Meadow, 8.5 by 5.5. I have scored it at 1 1/4, 2.5, and 5.5. And again, these measurements will be on the corresponding blog post, which will be up by the weekend. I have to take my husband in for procedure tomorrow, so my day has sort of gotten a little off track, and I don't know if I'll get the blog post up tomorrow, but it will definitely be up by Saturday. So, just that one of the things of getting older, you got to go in for all the tests and everything else. So tomorrow it's his turn. All right. We have a piece of our basic white here that we're going to emboss with these, pardon me, Snowy Sky embossing folder. I've already die cut that the trio of trees. Wow, talk about alliteration. I've got another piece of cherry cobbler. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I've got a piece of that Iconic Celebrations DSP. That is 5 by 2.5. And then we've got another cherry cobbler that is 1 by 5 1/4, and a piece of Iconic Celebrations that is 3/4 by 5. And then we have another piece of Mossy Meadow. This is 8.5 by 2 3/4, and we've scored it at 4 1/4. So when the card is closed, it will be the standard A2. It will be a 5.5 by a 4 1/4. Okay, so it'll fit in your A2 envelope. And then we have a piece of basic white for the inside. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And again, I will write down all of these measurements on the blog post. Then I have a scrap here for doing our masks. So we're only going to stamp a little bit in here. So let's go ahead and get that done. And we're going to stamp Merry Christmas. And we're going to, again, use, I lost my ink, stamp the sentiments from that season's Greetings of the Season. It's brand new. It's one of the new online exclusives that just dropped on July 3rd. So I'm still learning all of the names, but it is part of the Seasons of Green and Gold suite. Okay, so we're just going to say Merry Christmas. We're going to make it real simple. Okay, and that is really kind of it for the stamping. I am going to leave this open because we're going to need that for our masks. So let's move these pieces out of the way for now. Let's do this. let's take our trio of trees and we are going to just add a little bit of color with a blending brush in our pecan pie. Now, this is sticky. It's the whole back is sticky. So I want to block out kind of like that bottom. I don't want to get on that snow mound. So I'm just going to kind of use this. I used it for my sample card to just kind of keep those bottoms from getting too dirty. Okay. So there we go. Plus it helps hold that in place. So I don't want to get too much color on. I might even have quite enough on there yet, but let's go ahead and do a little bit of brown. Now you could do this on your glass mat. I just find it easier just to put paper. Plus it cuts down on the glare from the light. So here we go. I'm just going to add a little bit of color. And again, if you want to leave these white, you can certainly do that. It's your creation. You can do whatever you want. I wanted to add just a little bit of color. And if you don't have blending brushes, you can use daubers. Or, pardon me, I guess if all else fails, you can always kind of try to dip them in the ink pad, but that might get slightly messy. All right, so now we can take this off. And now see how it kind of prevented the brown from going into my snowdrift. So that's kind of what I was looking to do. All right, let's bring in our piece of basic white. We're going to, I think I can do it this way. Let me see if this will fit. A little short. Let's go this way. All right, so this is our stamp. I'm going to stamp our tree right on our piece of basic white. Okay. All right. Now, to hold my basic white in place, I am going to add some washi tape, and I can never find the end on this silly tape. I don't know why, but you know what? I kept a couple of pieces over there just for that reason. All right, so I'm just going to tape that down. That will just help hold that piece of paper in place because I'm going to move the masks on and off. So you want to kind of make sure this piece of paper underneath doesn't slide and move. So I'm going to come in here with mask A. I'm going to line it up. Okay. Now I'm also going to add some washi tape, which I don't have. So I'm going to use this because I can't find the end. I'm going to use this same sticky paper that I just had. That'll work. And if you notice, there is a divot right here on the mask. So I am going to take my pencil. I'm going to kind of outline that divot and around the corner. That will help me line up masks B and C. So that's why that little divot is there. Can you see it? All right, let's go ahead. We're going to take our blending brush. Now I want to keep this layer, this mask, I want to keep it kind of light. So I'm definitely going to like rub off some of my ink on my scrap paper because I don't want this to be very dark. I want it to be more on the light side. Okay. And you notice I'm going in a circular motion. Put down here because this little thing is popping up. But the masks are included as part of the bundle. It's somewhat confusing unless you read the description. You might think you have to order the masks separately. You do not. When you order the bundle, you will get the masks. All right, let's take off. Of course, I've got ink on my finger now. All right, go. Let's take off mask A. Okay, let's bring in mask B. Now again, we're going to line it up. We're going to take this divot on the mask and line it up with that pencil mark that we created from mask A. And that is going to put mask B, hopefully, in the right spot. Okay. And again, I'm going to use my little magic Post-its. Okay. Now this one I'm going to come a little bit darker. I'm not going to take off quite as much ink. I want it to be a little bit darker. Okay. And here we come. And again, in circular motion, just want to go in a circular motion. Get that ink in there. If you think it's too light, come back with more. Okay. If you want to, just a little bit more down here. Okay. There we go. That looks good. All right. One more mask. Now, you could certainly use different colors if you want. I decided to just use all the same color and just kind of alternate. Again, coming in, I'm going to match up that divot with my pencil mark. That will tell me that my C is in the right place. Okay, now because this is my last one, I could come in a little bit darker with my ink. Okay, because this is my last layer. All right, so I'm just going to come in here. All right, I'm going to give it good coverage. All right, and make sure that you rinse off your masks as soon as you're done. This way, the quicker you clean them off, the better off you'll be. All right, so that is our tree. Let's go ahead. Let's close up our ink because I've already stuck my finger in it. Did you really craft if you didn't get ink on your fingers? Let me know what you think. Does it count as crafting if you come out of your workshop with clean fingers? I'm going to go with no. All right, I'm going to take out my die because we want to cut this one. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I'm going to grab two because we want to emboss that other piece with the embossing folder. So let's do our die cut first. I'm going to raise this up just a bit. You can see my messy, messy desk. Again. They say a messy desk is the sign of a genius. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. I'm going to line up my die. So I can move this a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to line up my die kind of as best as I can. Sometimes it just takes a minute. Make sure you got it where you want it. Okay. All right. And here we go. All right. Let's see. Put our die over there for now. And there is our beautiful evergreen tree that we're going to put on our card. All right. Let's take that little piece of basic white. This is 2.5 by 4. And we are going to put it in our Snowy Sky embossing folder. And this is available. It's a carryover, I believe, from the last holiday catalog, but it's only available online. You're not going to find it in any catalog. It is just now an online. It's not an online exclusive because it was introduced in a catalog, but it is still available and it's online. So it's the Snowy Sky 3D embossing folder, just in case you're curious. All right, I'm going to stick these in that little thing. And there we have our embossed piece. Okay, let's move all of this out of the way. Okay. Let's get rid of this for now because this is kind of a mess. There we go. So now we're ready to assemble our faux side step card. So I'm going to take, all right, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to put the inside piece on the inside. I'm just going to take this. All right, go. Just a tad more there in that corner. All right, let's go ahead and add this Okay, we got that. Now, let's layer up our designer series paper with our cherry cobbler. Okay, and again, I'm just kind of eyeball stuff to make sure it looks like it's relatively straight. And then we're going to add this to that center section of our card. Ugh, sometimes this stuff just doesn't want to come out. All right, here we go. And got that. Now we're going to layer this up, but we're not going to adhere it yet because we want to put that, like the step piece, I guess you would call it, on first. I'm just going to layer these up so they're ready to go. Okay. Now I'm going to take my snowy sky and we're going to put one on the front of our little, I don't know what this piece is called. And actually I'm going to use liquid glue because whenever I have an embossed piece, my Stampin' Seal just likes to rip my paper. So that's why I'm going with the liquid glue. Although I usually make a very big mess with it. But we'll try. All right, and we're just going to layer that up. So pretty. I love it. Oops. I mean, that's the good thing about liquid glue is it does give you a little bit of time. If something is not in the right exact place you want it, you can move it just a bit. All right. So now we're going to take the back of this, the inside back, and we're going to adhere it to the outside back. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to put it, I don't know, maybe like 3/4 of an inch from this edge, because I definitely want it off center. Okay. There we go. That looks good. I'm going to come around. Now this is going to get adhered to this piece. Okay. And you want to make sure that you have the edges even because you don't want that edge to go to overhang. So let's go. Oops. Let's not have it adhere there. Okay. Let's go here. All right. That looks good. Okay. All right. And now we're going to take this piece and we are going to put it on the front. Okay. Just because I didn't like the way it looked with this piece covering up the designer series paper. So just the personal choice. You know, again, on your cards, you can make them however you want them. This was just my choice. Can't even speak today. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and add our trio. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue to this piece. I'm going to let the branches of the tree actually just kind of hang free without being adhered to anything. I'm just going to add a couple of dots, little dots of our multi-purpose liquid glue. Some people call it green glue because the bottle's green. Some people call it Tombow because it's the brand name, but to me, it's just a multi-purpose liquid glue. All right. Now this doesn't go all the way, it doesn't go edge to edge. So I am just going to kind of put this on as best I can, thinking that looks pretty good. And again, it's liquid, so I can slide it a little bit. Now we're going to come in here with our tree. I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I'm going to use about 4. And anyway, I am just so excited about Stampalooza because it is going to be so much fun. I really hope you'll join us. We've really got a lot of great surprises planned. We love to spoil people, and we're just so excited to share our knowledge and our talent with everyone. And we're just so excited to see you and make new friends. All right, so there is our tree. And I kind of put it a little bit on that snow drift, if you want to call it, just so it's not kind of like floating. It kind of looks like it's on the ground there, even with the other trees. Let's go ahead and add some bling. Right, I think I'm just going to use the small bling on this because we got a lot going on between the die cuts and the embossing. It's just a lot. Okay, and that is our second card for tonight. So I hope that you liked these ideas. I hope that you're inspired to try the frosted forest. And like I said, it's not just for summer. It can be for any occasion. So you can see how we've taken just the evergreen images and those like tree branches, those naked trees, and kind of made them into more of a winter holiday themed card. Again, color choice will definitely play a part. Why is this so crooked? I am very crooked tonight. Is that better? Oh my goodness. I think my camera stand was drinking when I wasn't down here. All right, so that's it. I hope that you like this. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate it. I know you have a lot of choices out there when it comes to videos and what demonstrators you follow. So I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and following me. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday with the Seasons of Green and Gold product suite. I really think you'll like that one. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye.